Hello everyone and welcome to the Bristol Motor Speedway for the 6th race of our 2003 NR2003 season. As we are green and underway, Kurt Busch from the pole already out front to a nice lead over his teammate, the rookie Greg Biffle. Trouble behind is Jimmie Johnson. Head on to the inside wall. Huge damage to the 48 and he will be out of this race. And we got more cars crashing up here in 3 and 4. Jimmie Johnson, the 48, gets hooked head on to the inside safer barrier right there by the 23 of Kerry Earnhardt. A hard collision for Jimmie Johnson into that wall. Big hit. Now up here, Bobby Labonte gets turned by Matt Kenseth into Ricky Rudd, and then Rusty Wallace, Jeff Burton, and others pile in. And more carnage continues to erupt here in a wild start to this race here in Bristol. You see, they were 3 wide up here. This one, Jimmie Johnson wiped up behind us, and the squeeze into the corner just does not work. Bristol typically one of the more chaotic tracks on the schedule, so we expect almost a repeat of last episode, Darlington, an absolute wreck fest, and has already started here on lap 1 with multiple cars crashing and being absolutely destroyed as Kurt Busch leads from the pole. We're now on to lap number 6. Kurt Busch leads over the 30 of Jeff Green. Here's we go into 1 and 2. He is clear, and Kurt Busch is setting his sails in the race lead, looking for victory lanes. We gotta look behind to see if anything's developing, because we know how crazy Bristol typically is. And there goes Jeff Burton. The 99 gets turned by Bobby Labonte, and he stays to the inside. Caution out. Luckily, does not get hit by anybody else as Kurt continues to lead. And on lap 13, Kurt once again leading this race. Kyle Petty behind him. I don't know what Mike Skinner and Ricky Rudd are doing back there coming down pit road, especially when we have a crash about to develop at any second here in Bristol. They just do it under yellow. It'll be a lot easier than doing it under green flag conditions, like 3 wide here. Brett Bodine, Jeff Burton, Sterling Marlin, a little bit of contact almost. They hang on to it, but Burton's going to get shoved up the racetrack. Biffle's going to squeeze. He's going to turn into the outside wall. Goes Burton into Brett Bodine. He gets turned by Ward Burton, and we got cars slamming into cars back here. And oh, big hit there for Dale Jr. and Dale Jarrett. Multiple hard collisions here at Bristol down the backstretch. Dale Jr. gets slammed by Kenny Wallace. Dale Jarrett T-bones Brett Bodine. Big damage to the 88. He gets drilled by Terry Labonte in the 5. So much damage sustained by a lot of contenders, getting absolutely destroyed here in Bristol. Jeff Burton, smoke pouring out the front of that car. I mean, he had the head-on collision, but then he had another incident back here. As we're going to get a look at what happened to the 31 of Robbie Gordon. That machine had some big damage as well. See, Robbie Gordon avoids this wreck, gets turned by Elliott Sadler into the outside wall. Sadler avoids, and then nowhere for Jeff Burton to go. Boom, slams into Robbie Gordon, destroys that 99. He's done for the day. Kurt Busch, so far unchallenged out front, remains the same here as we continue to make our way through this race. As he will lead back here with 3 wide, you got Rudd. He's going to turn. Kerry Earnhardt to the outside wall. Goes Kerry and then 23. Everyone else saves it. Continues going the right direction, nearly having absolute disaster here in Bristol. And we're 3 wide back here. And oh, Johnny Benson's going to get turned by Jeff Green. And we got a huge pile up on the front straightaway here at Bristol as the carnage continues. The caution will wave again. As so far at the front, it has remained unchanged, but behind has been absolute chaos. And it continues to be Kurt Busch dominating this race, a great Bristol racer. Of course, as we know from the future, Kurt Busch dominates Bristol in many, many years and one of the top 5 all-time wins list at Bristol, along with his brother Kyle. But further back here in the timeline, we got Ryan Newman, Mike Wallace, Jamie McMurray bumping into each other 3 wide. They hang on to it. Newman trying to work that middle, doesn't quite work for him. We got McMurray trying to make some passes there. Craven way off the pace back here. Got Matt Kenseth trying to go 3 wide with Kenny Schrader and Ward Burton. He will get around Ward Burton, but still battling Schrader for position. Oh, we got trouble. We got smoke up ahead. We got a big pile up. Harvick in the wall. Brett Bodine involved as well. What has happened? We are going to find out, as it looks like it all starts way further up when Kevin Harvick turns to 23 of Kerry Earnhardt into the inside wall. Head-on hit. Hard lick for Kerry. Spins Harvick back up the track into Newman, who gets clipped in the outside wall. Harvick gets hit head-on by Brett Bodine. Then gets hit by Jack Sprague. Joe Nemechek gets a piece of it, as does Ward Burton. And another big crash at Bristol as the carnage continues to just be the story of this race. Not even Kurt Busch dominating so far. This has been caution after caution after caution after caution with all these crashes. When are we going to be free of the Wreckfest races? Hopefully next episode. Now we go to Texas. We got trouble. Jamie McMurray around spins. The 8 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. will go spinning. Your points leader will save it on the bottom of the racetrack. As now everyone's scattering, trying to avoid, and Harvick gets turned in the wall by Newman, and Newman goes around. He's got trouble there. Jeff Green, Rusty Wallace, his teammate, gets in it. Nemechek involved as well. And oh my goodness, I don't even know anymore. Absolute carnage in Bristol. Kurt Busch continues to lead this race over Greg Biffle. His rookie teammate got a bunch of guys out of the race. That's just been the theme so far. Wreck. So as we get here in a 2-lap dash here to end stage number 1. Stage 2 is going to end on lap 40. Sorry, stage 1 is going to end on lap 42. So Kurt Busch is going to get the stage win, the playoff point. 10 stage points can help his case out for a playoff push come throughout this season. If they don't wreck up here, they're going to wreck there with Sterling Marlin. Gets turned around by Mike Wallace into the wall. And Terry Labonte's going to get a piece of it. And that will end the stage. And as they race back to the line, we got guys nearly, we got cars going everywhere here and down the backstretch in the 3 and 4. But Kurt Busch is going to win stage 1 here at Bristol, followed by Greg Biffle, Bobby Labonte. It's going to be Kyle Petty, Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon, Casey Atwood, Jamie McMurray, Elliott Sadler, Tony Stewart, and Michael Waltrip, your top 10 in stage number 1. As Kurt Busch gets a stage 1 victory here in Bristol. Now we're 4 wide coming out of turn 2. This is not going to end well, guys. Oh, there goes Schrader into the wall behind us. There goes Rusty Wallace around. And we are wrecking again here in Bristol. More contact. Mike Wallace, Elliott Sadler, Steve Park pile in. Lots of big door slams throughout the corner. At the front of the field, Jeff Gordon, new leader here in Bristol. Of course, Matt Kenseth actually falls out of the race as well as Elliott Sadler from that last incident. As we continue on here in stage 2, Jeff Gordon, who's had a horrible start to this year, trying to get something good going his way, leading this race. Michael Waltrip, Atwood. I'm sorry, that's not Atwood. That's Jimmy Spencer. By the middle, Harvick gets sent to the inside wall. The 29. We got more trouble behind us. Jack Sprague with big damage in the 0 for Haas Racing. Will go crashing here. Rusty Wallace turns him right to the outside wall. Nowhere Steve Parker goes. Slams right into him. Jerry Nadeau, Jeremy Mayfield, Johnny Benson collect damage. And then Harvick wipes out cars up here. Schrader into the wall. Andretti collected as well. Big problems here at Bristol. The Schrader goes in the wall. John Andretti gets damaged. Mike Wallace gets damaged also when Kevin Harvick came flying back on the track. Mark Martin got past Ricky after the lead. At the end of stage 2, Rusty Wallace will win stage 2 here at Bristol, followed by Johnny Benson. Tony Stewart, I don't believe, will come home in 3rd. So I don't see anywhere. It will be Jimmy Spencer will come home 3rd. Then it will be the 01 of Jerry Nadeau 4th. Jamie Mack will come home in 5th. You got the Biff in 6th. Sterling Marlin 7th. Looks like that is Kyle Petty in 8th, Ricky Craven 9th, and Johnny Andretti, your top 10 in stage 2. So Rusty Wallace gets a playoff point with the stage 2 win. Now we move on to Jimmy Spencer leading the way. Getting close to the end of this thing. Got about 80-something laps to go in this race. Jimmy Spencer in that 7 car for Evernham's leading the cautions out on the racetrack. Looks like Mark Martin and Kevin Harvick have been involved in a crash. And indeed, Harvick came flying back to the track right into Mark Martin. He gets hooked into the wall here. Jamie McMurray and Jerry Nadeau catch damage as well. So that is the replay of the most recent incident. So it's Jimmy Spencer leading over Greg Biffle, and now Greg Biffle is leading us back underway here with just 64 laps to go over Ricky Rudd in 2nd and Jerry Nadeau in 3rd. As Biffle trying to get his first career Winston Cup Series victory and only his 6th start of his young career here. He's been doing a great job just being solid, getting some solid top 20 finishes, being top 20 in points here. The first 5 races of the season here in this 2003 season. Doing a great job, of course, last year Roush Racing. Kurt Busch had a breakout sophomore season. Mark Martin was running well. Matt Kenseth, of course, won the championship. And then back here, look at this mess. 3 wide, 2 rows deep. This is probably not going to end very well for anybody here. And indeed, it's not. There goes Harvick's going to get turned by the 97 of Kurt Busch. Andretti and Stewart go to the outside wall. Craven in it as well. And the Wreckfest will continue in Bristol as is expected as Ricky Rudd leads the way. Now Greg Biffle leads the way with just 2 laps to go in Bristol. Biffle in the 16 Granger Ford for Roush Racing, looking to get his first ever win in the Winston Cup Series and only his 6th career start. It has been a pretty solid day. He's been running top 5, top 10, has avoided major damage. He does have damage. He's avoided any major carnage, has kept himself in contention. White flag in the air. Final laps on the one bank here at Bristol, and is about to bring home this moment he'll never forget, getting his first ever win at Bristol, and he will be in the playoffs. Will be back-to-back Roush Racing victories, joining his teammate Mark Martin. Greg Biffle will win his first ever race here at Bristol. Your runner-up is going to be the 45 of Kyle Petty, a strong 2nd place run. 3rd place will be Jimmy Spencer. 4th place Ricky Rudd. Rounding out the top 5 will be the 01 of Jerry Nadeau. Tony Stewart comes home 6th, the last car on the lead lap, and then Ward Burton, Bobby Labonte, Johnny Benson, and Jamie McMurray at the top 10. Greg Biffle gets his first career win here in Bristol and is into the playoffs in his rookie year. Let's look at the updated race results on the left side of your screen. After all the carnage that we saw, that's how all the results unfolded. One of the wilder Bristol races, but it's to be expected here in 2003. Now that the playoff grid, of course, Greg Biffle will slot in 6th, the rookie game's first career win so far through 6 races, 6 different winners. Could we have more than 16? Then all around the other top 16 remain around the same players. Just a bunch of shake up in the standings, a lot tighter from 10th on down for sure. Then the bubble is still tight with Newman, Spencer, Rusty Wallace, and Kyle Petty all around that bubble area. So until the next episode, where we have racing from the Texas Motor Speedway, I hope you all have a good one.